Josh Alt. You might be wondering why I'm on a boat in the Peruvian Amazon. Well, here's the story. I'm the journalism teacher at Springwoods High School in Houston, Texas. Back in the summer of 2024, I participated in the Educator Academy in Peru by the Morpho Institute. This was an amazing experience where you spend 10 days in the rainforest learning about ecology, culture, and conservation. On one of the final days in the jungle, I saw a woman sitting in the dining area of our lodge. I learned this woman was a doctor from the United States. Her name is Dr. Linnea Smith. Here's a photo we took that day. She has made the jungle her home and even wrote a book about her life here. I bought one that night and she signed it. Welcome to the jungle. After meeting her, I knew I had to come back one day to tell her story.
You go back to Wisconsin, that's where...
Yep. That's where I was born and raised, and that's why I've lived most of my life except for 10 years in the South and the time here.
In the summer of 2026, I had that opportunity.
We are here, and this is about 8 kilometers or 50 miles. So we get people from all of these villages. Indiana is about 25 miles upriver. It's halfway between here and Iquitos, and there is a medical post there.
Dr. Smith was already in her 30s when she decided to go to medical school.
And I was practicing, and I had a wonderful practice. I had great partners. We made house calls. It was close to home. I loved it.
In Milwaukee?
No, outside in Prairie du Sac, outside of. I live west of Madison.
Okay.
But then I got this flyer across my desk from Nature Conservancy, go to see Peru and see Machu Picchu and see the rainforest. And I said, the rainforest? That's where all our plants came from. Woody would love it. I'll go see the rainforest. So I came on the trip, and at the end of the week in the rainforest, I said, I don't want to go home again. And then this is triage area. We can weigh the babies, we can weigh the adults, get a blood pressure. Our laboratories here. We can do a malaria smear, we can do a pregnancy test, we can do hemoglobin to see if you're anemic or not, we can do urinalysis. When Kendra is here, our lab technician, she can do stool specimens.
Did you ever think this was possible when you first came here? It's amazing.
I can't say that I could have envisioned this.
Right.
I did know that as I said, I just needed to be here, and you just do it one day at a time, and sometimes, one thing and then another thing. If we want, and we do have an ultrasound machine, although none of us is really good at it. However, the more you use it, the more you learn. If we want an X-ray or a CT scan, we send you to the city. And often we will say, you go get this study, and then you bring me the receipt, and you bring me the result, and I will pay you back for it.
Many people ask, what would want someone to stay in the jungle? She started the clinic in 1990 and has been living in Peru for 36 years.
If I was religious, I would say it's a calling. If it was a person, I'd say it was love, but there was something that I just knew I had to be here. And I said, Linnea, there is no lab, no electricity, no running water, no x-ray, no pharmacy, no nurses, no other doctors to talk to, no med flight, you don't know the Peruvian medical system, and you don't speak Spanish. And I didn't care.
So kind of just tell me about, it's a huge building. Is it the biggest building in the area? Probably. Or besides the lodge?
Probably. Well, the school they're building now is quite something.
Oh, really?
But when I first came here, the first 3 years, I just worked out of a room at Explorama. I had a little table, and then after a couple of years, I got an exam table, and I had a kerosene lantern, and that was it. And I didn't have office hours. I was just, I was there when I was there, and if there were no patients, I'd go walking in the jungle. I knew the trails through the jungle then. But it got to where at Explorama, they beat the drums for the meal times. Mm-hmm. And it got to where it seemed like every time they beat the drums, people would say, oh, let's go see the doctor right now. So eventually I made office hours, and that's what's up there on the door.
There has been 2 clinics built since Dr. Smith first came. The first one was small and was taken by the river. Then 17 years ago, this much larger one was built by the Rotary Club out of Minnesota.
So back here, we have the area where we wash our instruments and sterilize them in our pressure cooker on the gas stove. storage area for empty boxes, laundry. We collect rainwater off the roof, and the ladies like that for the laundry area over there under that little rock.
Does someone live in that building?
No, that's the place for our table saw, our the combustible
Which is
things,
the
paint,
storage.
the gas, the bottled gas, things that we don't want to have in the clinic. And we keep the
This is like
batteries. Yep,
for the
this is our
solar panel?
electrical system, the solar panels.
How long
are
have you
out
had
there.
the solar panel? Oh, since this was built?
The solar, we've had solar panels since the beginning. Well, actually, the latest was last year. We added a few more panels. The Rotarians came in 2016 and did a major overhaul. We didn't have enough electricity to run a food refrigerator, but when the Rotarians came and upgraded the system in 2016, they gave us more solar panels, these wonderful LED lights, the fans, and we were able to put in a refrigerator.
Very cool.
All right, and there's somebody's.
Oh, a fish.
Yeah, there's somebody's supper.
Dinner.
Since her time here and the creation of the clinic, the lives of those who make the Peruvian Amazon their home has become better.
When I got here in 1990, women had anywhere, if they were in their 30s or their 40s, they had anywhere from 8 to 15 children, and they had lost 3 or 4 or 5 of them. I think the mortality rate for babies was about 25%. My record was a woman who came for birth control when she was 43 years old, had been pregnant 24 times. Yeah, even the men say, "Ooh." Had miscarried 4 babies, so she'd given birth to 20 babies, and she had 12 living children, 8 dead children. When I did the birth control, I asked, how many living children do you have? How many dead children do you have? What did they die of? In developed countries, there are 2 main causes of childhood death: cancer and trauma. In developing countries, the 3 main causes of death are pneumonia, diarrhea, and malnutrition. And you can imagine how those might be linked. You get diarrhea, you get more malnourished, then you just can't fight off the pneumonia. And everyone was drinking water out of the river. There are no water treatment plants, no sewage treatment plants. And so in the intervening 36 years, we very seldom see an 18-year-old woman with 3 kids. I can't say never, but not like it used to be.
Dr. Smith built a home here when she knew she would be staying.
So what made you pick this location for your house?
It was land that Exporama had that was available, that was, on their property and nearby.
It's a beautiful location.
Has no kitchen. So I, eat at the lodge. And I wanted a place. When they built the clinic, I wanted my house to be separate from the clinic. I knew I was going to be called out in the night, and I didn't want to be living in the clinic.
Do they knock on your door here ever? Do they get in trouble if they do?
No, they knock on my door all the time.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Yes. Everybody knows where the doctora lives. Yeah.
No, there's different parts.
So
But the water's never gotten to the bottom of your house?
the water in 2012, it got up to like about here.
Oh, wow. Were you here?
I was not. I was actually in Wisconsin during that flood. So
You don't have electricity here?
no.
Oh, well. That doesn't bother you at all?
Why would I want electricity?
No, I don't know. No solar panels or anything?
I did have a solar panel and 1 battery, and I used it to charge my laptop so I can do clinic work when I'm sitting back in my hammock. But I don't have a television, and I don't need a fan. I don't, as I said, I don't cook, so light is the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some solar lights charging up there, and some LED lights. And I also have, so the structure of the house is local. But then the Rotarians put in board floors, wooden walls, wooden doors, and my friends in Wisconsin who collect
Wow.
antique doorknobs gave me my hardware, and they brought my doorbell.
She hopes there will be even greater health care for the people here in the future.
One place we haven't made a lot of progress is on cervical cancer, but now we're going to be able to do something about that. When I was in medical school, we didn't know that the human papillomavirus, HPV, causes cervical cancer. And it's not quite that simple. There are more strains of HPV than there are of COVID. There are dozens of strains. Some of them are totally harmless, some of them cause other problems, and a few of them cause cervical cancer. And for whatever reason, the tropical climate, genetic predisposition, sex early and often, I don't know. But for whatever reason, cervical cancer is far more common in Peru than it is in the United States, and it's far more common in Loreto, our department or our state, than it is in the big cities.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm getting tired of seeing these women in their 30s coming in and they're slowly bleeding to death. We just had another one, this week. But now what we're doing is we're testing for HPV, and we're vaccinating against HPV. A couple more generations, and there may not be cervical cancer at all, which would be really nice. But we're testing for HPV, and if we find the bad strains, we're now giving treatment, which we can do in this clinic. It takes less than half an hour. I mean, by the time you do the orientation, get the woman in, get her up in the stirrups, do the treatment, she gets done, she gets out, and she walks home. Latch is shut, keeps the cold in. It lifts up rather than out, so the cold, doesn't tell cold air.
And the solar panels keep it
the solar
cold?
Our electricity is all from solar panels. The lights, the fans, the vaccine refrigerator.
So how many different vaccines do you have altogether?
Let's see. Tetanus, acellular DPT for pregnant women, pneumococcal vaccine, rotavirus, HPV, pentavalent, Haemophilus influenza, DPT, and what's the other one for kids? DPT, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus for kids, polio, both oral and injectable.
That's amazing. Do you have anti-venom too? That has to be cool?
Yeah.
The snake bite's pretty common?
They're not common, and they're a lot less common than they used to be. We've had two so far this year. Why? Because the village has grown. Snakes are not stupid. They know that if they hang around people, if they hang around people, they're going to die.
Dr. Smith now splits her time between Wisconsin and the jungle. She says she has no plans of leaving the jungle yet because there are still people who need her help.
Diarrhea used to be very common. We see much less of that. Pneumonia used to be very common. We see much less of that. Trauma, machete cuts. When I was a kid, my parents would hardly let me use a paring knife. In the school, the kids have got machetes and they're whacking at the weeds and stuff. And sometimes, they whack themselves. So machete cuts are fairly common. The young man who stepped on a poisonous snake a few days ago was here for a night or two. So if we keep you overnight, we got a
What kind of snake was it? Do you know?
Poisonous.
Oh, you don't know?
I can show you a picture of the 2 puncture marks on his foot.
That's pretty big.
Snakes don't necessarily carry identification cards. And if you capture them, you can bring them in and we might be able to identify them. So this is our second exam room. If we do procedures or if we deliver a baby, that's going to be more likely in here. And as I said, we do not do major surgery. You need your appendix out, you go to Iquitos.
So a baby's been born in this room?
Oh, sure.
Several?
Yes. And then this is the dentist room. As I mentioned, our nursing staff are very much very capable of doing a lot more than their nominal training. Hubencio is nominally trained as a nurse technician, but he has worked with many visiting dentists, and they have taught him not only how to pull teeth, which I can actually do and have done, although not in a long time. Pulling teeth, even a doctor can pull a tooth. That's not. Well, I won't say it's not difficult. Sometimes if there's not much to get hold of or it breaks, but it's technically a fairly straightforward thing. However, he has also learned how to do fillings. Now that's a lot more complicated.
Dr. Smith says she's not sure about the future of the clinic.
I don't know. And people have been asking me that for many years, and for at least 20 years I've been saying, check back in 5 years and I'll let you know. What I tell myself is, nothing lasts forever. Rome didn't last forever. England wasn't the king of the seas forever. The United States may not be on top of the world forever. We have, as of today, as of the end of June, we have treated more than 80,000 people over the last 36 years. Hey, what do you want? I can't save the world. When I was a Girl Scout, we were told, you can't save the world, but you can make it a little bit. If you come, we go to a picnic and you don't leave the place any worse than you found it. And if there's some garbage, you pick it up and you leave it a little better. And if everybody did that in their lives, the world would be a lot better place than it is. After I was here for over a year, they gave my desk to someone else.
Oh, really?
Dr. Smith, I'm grateful you let me tell your story. And I can tell you one thing, you're making this part of the world a better place.